him.
That
That's
was
not
perfect.
even my real face.
That was perfect. I wish that was like kind of in the recording.
Me too.
Because right where Daniel paused, like Zoom's automated voice is just like recording in progress.
Yep.
That would have been hilarious.
And so I told him recording in progress. That's how you have to notify people that you're recording them in areas that don't let you just record.
We'll have to get
no more of those paper flyers anymore. You just have to walk up to people, slap them in the face, and be like, recording in progress.
I should just put one of those like stickers on my front door that says, this property is under 24-hour CCTV surveillance.
I sound like Megatron.
Does he sound like Megatron because he's a robot and evil sounding, or does he sound like Megatron because that's
totally
just
a human? I am a human.
Have you guys ever seen that?
As
that
opposed
video?
to Josh, I try to sound like Mega Cock.
I talk of human things and eat human foods.
You might want to like turn off your mix or unplug your mixer and plug it back in or something.
I don't have
You
my
sound like a tainted
mixer
robot
at all.
Oh, okay. Well, then you might want to unplug your mic and plug it back in or something.
How about this? Let's try that.
Have you tried resetting your vocal cords? You ever seen somebody get punched so hard that they come out of the fight with a different accent?
Fair enough. All right. Oh, nice. Okay, it's just a bit scratchy. That's nice. All right.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
Right? There you go. Hey guys, how's it going?
How's everybody?
Starscream. Fuck Starscream. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Today we're doing a very special catch-up episode of the Black Tower podcast.
Starscream is just the budget Igor.
The taint,
absolutely.
The taint had us in its grasp last week.
Oh, it did. Absolutely. Again, I want to re-apologize for the Black Tower failure to check all of our shit. Mostly it was one member of the Black Tower, but we won't say who. We'll just let everybody who was there know and everyone who wasn't not. We did an episode a couple of weeks ago with the gentleman behind the Dane Bornhold account on Twitter. And it was a fantastic episode, and we really hope that some of you we know that some of you actually got a chance to see it, but unfortunately, as I said, the settings were mishandled and the sound did not come through. It was a singular member of the Black Tower podcast that actually came through with their sound. And so unfortunately, we were an episode behind because that one could not be released. However, we are
the lost episode now.
It is the lost episode. Yes, it lives on in the memories of our Patreons and Josh and I.
We almost had a lost episode before this. There was one of them
we
that.
did.
That's why I don't click stop on the recording. I just pause it when we're doing this because if I click stop, it has a tendency to just save over the last one.
Yeah, because it can be a problem.
Mm.
But anyway, thankfully we are. It looks like getting Dane back on, as well as hopefully this time it'll be even more better because we'll actually have Child Bayar on as well, which we unfortunately missed.
Can't believe you just said the phrase "more better."
I did. It was
better.
It was the most best thing I could say.
And more better is like just below a pet peeve for me.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it will be.
You're fine.
It will be the most better because wait, hang on. No, awesome. So as I said, hopefully we will actually get everyone to go ahead and hear that episode, hopefully with some new jokes, some new banter, some fun times, and also an additional guest and an additional host. But until then, we are coming at you with a special edition episode a Sunday episode, which does not usually happen. I know
a holiday episode
on Sunday. A holiday episode.
Holiday episode.
Happy birthday, America! Here's to you, you beautiful red, white, and blue bastard.
Indeed. America. Happy Treason Day, except that we won, and therefore it's Independence Day.
That's right.
It's not treason if you win.
It's
funny how accurate that is. If you lose, it's treason, but if you win, it's revolution.
Get in trouble. Right. You're not in trouble if you get unless you get caught. Huh, I'm in trouble.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger. Yeah, so we are coming at you. We have a fun topic tonight, or at least I think it is, which, spoiler alert, I did suggest it. So that's definitely bias. But no, I hope that you guys enjoy it. But before we actually get to the episode itself and the topic and what we're talking about tonight, yeah, we should probably say who we are and why we do the things we do. Hi there. My name's Daniel. I'm one of your hosts for the Black Tower podcast.
And hi there, neighbor. I'm one of your other hosts. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful day. Don't worry, the fish have been fed. But I'm your Baijan Mahal, Andrew. And I'm going to go ahead and change out of my penny loafers into my sneakers.
No. Your sneakers into your penny loafers. We're starting the episode.
Does he change into sneakers at the end of the episode?
Yeah. Because he goes outside again. He comes in from the outside in sneakers.
You're right.
And then turns into his loafers for the inside portion and then leaves at the end. So he changes.
I was relying on epic rap battles for it.
Fair.
That works.
I'll be rocking sneakers till this episode's over so I don't get blood from these horrible things we're going to say on my penny loafers.
And
Mr. Rogers in a blood-stained sweater.
Josh, your Sorovan Mahal. And I am so excited.
Yeah, so
your tone of voice
really jives with what you're saying there, buddy.
So full disclaimer. It is again the 4th of July as we're recording this. We are all born. Well, it doesn't matter if we're born, but we are all American citizens. I mean, we were all born. That should be kind of obvious, but so we are celebrating in our own ways. So if one or all of us get a little sloppy by the end of this,
I would apologize, except for that's super on brand.
I would apologize, but you're mad at me because I got sloppy? I thought this was America. I'm not planning on it, but I'm also I bought a new bottle of Sailor Jerry's, as is our brand. I bought another bottle of the 12-year Glenfiddich, and I bought some Broken Shed vodka because they didn't have Beluga, and I'd never tried Broken Shed. I really want Beluga vodka.
It's not bad.
If somebody ever comes to see me and you bring me a bottle of Beluga vodka, you can have your way.
Excellent. All right.
Not necessarily October. With me, but
somebody's getting their way. All right. So yeah, before we actually again get into our topic, our spoiler warning, all of that different stuff, I do want to give a big shout out to some very special people who we could not do these episodes without. First and foremost is going to be the Crystal Barista. She is the official sponsor of the Black Tower podcast. She is one of the Black Tower hosts' better halves. I'll let you figure out which one.
All right. Sorry to interrupt whatever you may be watching or listening to, whatever topic we're covering right now, but we absolutely have to take a moment to talk about and thank our friend Josh's better half and the longtime sponsor and supporter of the Black Tower podcast. Of course, this is the Crystal Barista. Whether you seek crystals and minerals and the like for their cleansing, healing, and positive vibes, or you just enjoy them and think they look pretty neat, you can find anything you could possibly want with crystals and minerals here at crystalbarista.com. With everything from individual pieces that can be ordered to monthly subscription boxes, there is something here for absolutely everyone, for every occasion, for whatever you could possibly want. There's no way you can't find something that you would like in her store. On the website crystalbarista.com, you can browse by different categories, including the subscription boxes, minerals and fossils, crystal healing, stone jewelry, all the way to just the raw slabs of whatever may be being sold. And if you're more budget conscious and you want to look at anything that is limited by price, you can look for anything that is from $0 to almost $25, $25 to $50, and then anything that may be over $50. Now, if you are a rock hound and you want to get some really good tools to help you in your hounding, the Crystal Barista provides those as well. And you can find those on the same website. It's a very user-friendly website. You can find absolutely anything you need for your rock hounding, mineral, crystal, fossil needs. Now, going through the website, you can also find links to the Crystal Barista's Twitter, the Crystal Barista's Facebook, as well as the Crystal Barista's Instagram, and a couple other things. Make sure you go and follow the Crystal Barista on Twitter at RockPick, RockPick, to get updates as they come out and to be up to date on what exactly is going on with the Crystal Barista. She does like to throw up things on Twitter that may be available for you to get at slightly cheaper prices, but more commonly you can find that over on the Crystal Barista Facebook. So again, same name on Facebook, RockPick, and you'll be looking for the page that says Crystal Barista, formerly Rockpick Legend Company. Facebook is a good place for updates for the Crystal Barista. And if you just like to look at pictures and kind of see everything that's going on mixed in with some updates, hit up the Crystal Barista on Instagram. You can find her at the Crystal Barista. Again, that's barista with one R, Barista, which I think is the only way to spell it. We all know how much trouble I have with spelling. So make sure you go over and check out what the Crystal Barista has to offer and tell her that the Black Tower podcast sent you.
Also, if they want to find all of our stuff, where should they go, Josh? After you said what you were going to say.
I was actually going to say Crystal Barista, we're going to be doing some massive sales coming up here. So if you're looking for a gift for a friend or a loved one, or for yourself, who is also a friend and a loved one, because love yourself. It's going to be Christmas in July.
Treat yourself.
It's going to be awesome. So do not miss the Christmas in July event.
Get some rocks and some chicky nug nugs.
I like Snake and Fox's idea. Step 1, get a crystal. Step 2, cut a hole in that crystal. Step 3, put the emerald in that crystal. Put that emerald in that crystal.
It's a queen in a crystal. It's a queen in
3,
a rock.
Make her open the crystal.
A queen in a rock.
That's the way you do it. It's a queen in a rock.
So I will say, what was I going to say? Oh, when they want to look for our stuff, well, then all they need to do is go to blacktowerpod.com. It is your one-stop shop for all things good and tainted.
Indeed.
And the YouTube playlist is updated because I realized today that I had not done that for the last 5 episodes.
Oh, shit.
I was looking, I was like, this feels like this episode was a while ago.
Yeah, not only is it updated, it's got a whole new playlist, is what he's saying. He waited 5 episodes so that it was the perfect number to get a 5 new episode.
Swap it over for you.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yes, that was totally intentional.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We know what you got going on.
Did you know that the Black Tower podcast has its very own website? No? Well, then make sure you head on over to www.blacktowerpod.com for even more Black Tower podcast tainty goodness. On our site, you can find all of our social media links conveniently located towards the bottom left if you're on a computer. There are links to the Facebook page, our Twitter, our YouTube, and our Instagram. So you can keep up to date with us by finding all of our social media there. Also on our website, you can find a link to the forums that we have, where we have all kinds of discussions and, as Morshadi has done plenty of times, run naked through the forums. No worries, there's no pictures. We turned off the cameras for that. You can find links to Black Tower Podcast merch, both on New Creations by Jen and from Spreadshirt, where you can find any of our designs that we've ever put out, and you can go and get yourself whatever kind of merchandise you want, be it shirts, glasses, aprons for cooking, bags, hats, buttons, anything that you want, you can find in between the two merch shops that we have. The website also has a very quick and accessible link for our Discord, where you can come and join all of the fantastic tainty discussions that we have in our Discord server. We do have sections for spoiler and non-spoiler content, so you can come and enjoy something for you if you have finished a series, or something for you if you haven't finished a series. Another key feature is our Dragonsworn On Demand section, where you can automatically see the most recent 5 videos from our YouTube that will play on an automatic playlist for you on the website. A quick button to get to our YouTube there as well, and you can just listen to the most recent 5 episodes that we have posted on Podbean. If you're curious about events and things we have coming up, we also have the Black Tower calendar, where you can go and look and see when we generally do our live Patreon recordings, when our episodes go live, and any events and things that we have coming up that we can put on the calendar. A quick link to our Patreon, where you can join and get access to all kinds of different content, including pre-recordings, and depending on the tier, early access to episodes, shout outs, all that kind of fun stuff. And of course, we will update the Patreon whenever we do have the updates ready to go live. We are still working on that. That is coming as of right now. Make sure you head on over to our website, where you can literally get access to anything that we have and we put out. As our website will lead you to as well, we have a Patreon that allows us to do some extra stuff, as just all around extra stuff. Part of that will be seen at this year's JordanCon. It's not anything like majorly huge, but it is the start. It is a beginning. It lets us take and send you guys out merchandise and stickers, and get stickers made and everything, so that we have this stuff to send out, and we don't necessarily have to worry about stretching our own personal finance pockets that we use to live to do it with. That being said, for this past month, June, there were 3 people that were 3 patrons that were supposed to get stickers from us. Unfortunately, they were packed and everything was ready to be sent off, but during just the day-to-day hectics of life, they kind of got, I don't want to say forgotten about, but
misplaced.
The taint had
lost
different plans
in the shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah. Those are slotted to be sent out this week, as early as possible. For everyone else that is not one of those 3, and those 3, of course, that's going to be for you, DK Moon, the Registered Nerd, or Emily, as well as Gleeman Twitch. Yeah, they got lost in the beard. So those are going to be sent out this week to you. Yeah, it doesn't affect, it doesn't reset your timer. You're still going to get stickers on your normal schedule. But everybody else that is due stickers for July, those will be sent out Tuesday or Wednesday. Part of it's just going to depend on how finding the good packaging goes.
Right.
But yeah.
But yes, look out for those in the mail. We will be getting those to you as soon as we can. We know that right now the mail is not what it used to be. They used to say, through rain and sleet and snow and hail. Now they're like, if we feel like it and have enough sorting machines. And it's not their fault, depending. I mean, I'm sure that it's some people's fault, but when you don't fund the aliens at the post office, they're going to get a little antsy. So, so we'll definitely get them out to you as soon as we can, and as soon as the mail can get them to you, but they will be on their way shortly.
Yep. And of course, if you believe you should have gotten something, you are one of our patrons, and you haven't received something that you feel you should have, feel free to shoot us a message either on Discord or on Patreon, and we'll get an answer for you. Whether it's something that is en route, whether it's something that, oh yeah, you're right, we fucked up again, or it's just something that's still in the future for you.
Yeah.
So,
because we do recognize that we're not, I mean, I don't think our Patreon is super complicated, but there are definitely things that are not 1,000% clear. So if there are any questions, please contact us. We would absolutely rather have a question where we have an answer and it's just unfortunately in the negative than wishy-washy foreverness, because that's never good.
Yeah, it'll be easier
Although
once
wishy-washy foreverness is sometimes fun.
Yeah, it'll be a bit
You're
easier
not
on
wrong.
us once we hit like 30 patrons, because that's when we're going to switch in. Everything that's sent out will be standardized. Like no matter what, it's this month and this month and this month and this month that
So
all the
help
things
us
get
reach
sent
our
out.
goal.
So
There we go. Indeed.
that'll make it easier on us. And it might
Speaking
mean
of
that,
which-
somebody joining our Patreon gets their stuff a little bit earlier than they otherwise would, because right now we have to track each one individually
Yes.
from based off of the charge dates on Patreon as to like how if you joined before the 1st of June, then that means that in July, as long as you have been a patron for all of June or for June and July, then you get your first bi-monthly sticker. So
Indeed. Yeah, and in fact, I know that we shouted her out last episode already, so it's not, necessarily a new thing, but we did actually get another Patreon last month. So if you want to go ahead and keep popping in there, we definitely appreciate it more than you guys can even know. Again, it helps us do so many things. And I mean, even just the feel goodness. I mean, we love seeing that people are appreciative of what we're doing. I know that Andrew and Josh and I get along really well, and we would probably still be friends and probably still talk about Wheel of Time, even if we weren't doing a podcast. But when we actually
you tell
do
him to say that, Andrew?
It's amazing to go ahead and hear that we're doing a good job, and it's amazing to hear that it's appreciated. So Patreon is definitely one of those great ways to let us know that if you think along those lines, and we appreciate the fuck out of it.
And it's also, Patreon is also one of only, if you want to be technical about it, 4 places you can get the coins, but in broad strokes only 2, because you can only get the sword pin coin and the dragon pin coin through Patreon and through us physically. So
Yes.
or through us physically.
And maybe at Jordan Con. maybe.
Shut up.
I'm just saying that might happen. It could. It's in the realm of possibility.
I'm gonna
mean-
cut this out, but because we have some patrons here listening, yes, that is a thing. We're gonna wait to publicly announce it.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
We're gonna wait to publicly announce. Like, no, you're perfectly fine. Like, I think it's actually fair that we go ahead and tell patrons.
That's fair.
So, we're gonna announce it either on the 14th or the 15th or 15th or yeah. It'll be at least a day before the actual events of Jordan Con.
On your birthday?
Well, maybe might do it before my birthday, but or no,
I
we'll do it on my birthday.
I kind of want to announce it as a birthday present to you.
Oh, there you go.
Like, it's not the only birthday present you're getting, but I do kind of want to announce it as your birthday present.
So what we're going to do is, for each day of Jordan Con, we are going to allot 1 sword coin and 1 dragon coin to be given out to potentially 2 different people. And it'll basically be kind of a bit of a scavenger hunt. We'll post out while Jordan Con is going on, whichever one of us has the coin, or whichever one of us we say you've got to find where they are or what event they'll be attending, or roughly where they're going to be. And the first person that finds whoever we say you need to find to get the coin will be the one to get whichever coin that is. So probably do one closer towards the morning, and probably another one closer towards mid-afternoon or something like that. And if you're already right there beside us, that's kind of cheating, so you can't.
Lazy Sunday, wake up in the late afternoon, call up Josh just to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
So hey man, can I get a sword coin?
Well, I'm going to say it like this: if you have found us based off of an earlier tweet and got a coin or something like that, or based off of an earlier tweet, and then you hang out with us the rest of the day, you don't know, because it's all based off of who sees the tweet first. Yeah. So we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. Yes. But yeah, so we'll do that.
You'll just have to keep yourselves updated. Keep on your toes.
Yeah.
Keep on the edge of that weave, bruh.
Yep. And it can be anybody. Literally anybody. You could be like, I don't even know who the Black Tower podcast is. Well, congratulations, you got a coin.
Congratulations.
Sorry,
You're now
please,
an
you found me.
honorary. You're an honorary soldier, motherfucker.
That's right.
So with
Awesome.
all that said and done,
I think
has-
it's time.
we has an episode.
Indeed.
before we
But
get into
before
that
we actually
episode-
get to the intro
Yeah.
or the topic,
Yeah,
we have a
we
special.
need to make sure everyone is protected, and our form of
It's
protection
true.
comes from the very apt, the very capable, the very fact knowledgeable, sexy Morshadi. So he is going to be assisting us with
Fact check
today's
Mihail.
instruction on how to
Fact
apply
checker Mihail.
your spoiler condom.
Oh man, this is really tight.
Yeah, so here you go.
Welcome to the Black Tower, a Wheel of Time podcast. All right, let's check this one. This podcast episode will likely be spoiling all of the books in the series, but if Daniel is in charge of the recording, it'll never hit the editing bay. So just in case you're some
There it is.
masochist Patreon supporter who hasn't read the whole series and just gets off on being part of lost episodes, how about you put that spoiler condom all the way on?
Yep. I asked for it. Was it last week or the week before that it was challenge that the challenge happened?
A week before last.
Week before last? Nice.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds about right. So now we've got new spring.
Well, no, see, now I'm worried
Got-
because we now have one from Morshadi that digs at Josh for
Yeah.
spoiling things. We have the one that digs
Yes.
at you
For
for
never
the
spoiling,
recording
or for
fucking
not spoiling things by
Yeah.
never actually getting anything out.
yeah. And Morshadi hasn't taken the dig at me yet, and I feel like having not yet read New Spring is too low hanging fruit. That he's going to go for something different.
He's gonna go for something.
Okay,
He's gonna get a
I'm
deep
gonna
cut.
I'm gonna throw out there, Andrew. He may end up doing that eventually, but I think his spoiler warnings are actually just a response to the registered nerds spoiler warning, which is the dig on you. I
Could be,
think
could
that's
be.
what's going on. I'm not 100% sure. Morshadi, if you end up going ahead and doing one out of left field that just fucks with Andrew, I will not say no. But I feel like it was in response to, not, whatever.
I love
Anyway,
it.
what are we talking about today? Because we now have a spoiler warning for the whole series, and therefore we can talk about whatever we want. No, it's not even for the entire series. It's going to be for the entire series plus. Because
That's
today's
true.
episode, we actually, it was a long time ago. Oh, Jesus. It's been so much longer than I think it is. A long time ago, we did an episode on the Black Tower in the Fourth Age. What it looked like, what things we
Oh,
might,
that has been a while.
right? What things we might consider as far as leadership, as far as, settling down a little because there isn't Tarmin Gaiden to prepare for anymore. You don't need to go at quite the breakneck pace you've been going, things like that. But there's so much more going on in the Fourth Age than just the Black Tower. There's a whole civilization of people. There's a whole set of characters. There's more than 2,000 characters that are named in the Wheel of Time. And we talked about like 8 of them
Yes.
in that particular episode. So we thought today we'd go ahead and make some choices, have each of us choose just a couple of characters that we thought might be doing interesting things or that we might be interested in, and talk a little bit about what we think on a personal level, based on the evidence provided and things like that, that they would be doing in the Fourth Age. I think that, I don't know whether Josh actually saw it earlier. He might actually be still thinking a little bit. So Andrew, if you don't mind kicking us off, will you give us one of your choices and sort of the what they're up to, what they're doing? Also, nice haircut.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I had to fix my hair.
No, it looks good.
Still didn't even work. Damn it.
This motherfucking haircut.
I only have hair on the top of my head, so like
Yeah.
anytime the headphones like move forward or I move them and it pushes forward, it like creates like this weird Elvis pompadour kind of thing.
I like it. You should rock it.
You might look at it and say, "Oh," I look at him like, "No, no way."
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
Has anybody done an Elvis style parody for the Wheel of Time yet? Somebody needs to.
I don't think so.
I don't think So
but it could happen.
Like, if you could do like Jailhouse Rock, but it's like Aes Sedai box rock,
there we go. I like
it'd
it.
be fun.
Or the three girls in Tanchico.
Yeah,
Or no, not
Oh,
Tanchico. Tyr.
yeah.
Yeah, in Tyr.
So the way I went with it is I wanted to avoid the main cast of characters, but that being like the more centrally focused characters, like the core, like I don't know, let's say 5 to 8. But I still wanted to do like a character that still had a main role. So I picked a main character, a kind of main character, and somebody that was more like out of left field.
Sure.
So for the main-ish character, I chose Loyal.
Hey,
Okay.
I like it.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna lie, part of it is because I'm like I felt like I could easily figure out what he would probably be up to after the last battle is concluded. After spending what is the equivalent of an Ogiers, like, couple of months outside of the steading, and literally all the possible batshit that could go wrong, going wrong and happening, and him being centrally involved in so much of it, he's gonna enter the fourth age.
I've been so hasty.
Yeah. So I think his first many days in the fourth age are going to be focused on finishing out and fleshing out the notes that he's taken for the past like 2 years on what's going on, 2 years plus from when he was just left the steading and everything. Then there will be because him and I always want to say Aaron.
Aerith.
Wrong. Aerith.
Aerith.
They're not yet married.
It's
right?
like Aerith, but like with a lift.
Yeah, but Aerith and Loyal haven't gotten married yet. They're just betrothed.
Correct.
They've kind of like tacitly are like both agreed that they're going to get married.
It takes
that's
a
kind of it.
long time to get married in Ogier.
Yeah. And I mean, like, he's going to spend months, like, fleshing out all of these notes, making sure that they're, right, adding details here and there, It's probably going to be reminiscent of, like, how many times Robert Jordan did the same thing for his notes, writing the books, and how many times Brandon Sanderson had to reread all of Jordan's notes to then go back and edit his notes. But I think once he's got the notes done, he's going to very much want to go ahead and start writing his books. But he's going to be pressured by the Stump and Aerith and his mother to go ahead and have the marriage. Like, they're going to be like, you've had a year and a half to work on your notes. Now is time for the marriage. We gave you plenty of time. So
Aerith's
then
honeymoon gift to him is literally just more time to work on his book.
it's going to be like, she's going to call in Ashaman to bring in gateways and gateways worth of like paper and quills and ink and everything else, and this new invention where the ink is inside the quill and that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
If he doesn't invent
it's like a wheel point pen or something.
I could see Loyal inventing like the early like ballpoint pens, but not necessarily the ballpoint, the ones that still had the kind of pointed tip, just like quills and everything used to.
Yeah,
the fountain pens.
Yeah,
the fountain pen.
I could see Loyal inventing the fountain pen because the movement from parchment to inkwell and back just seems too hasty of a movement rather than just being able to write through. So I see them having a wedding, and I imagine.
No. Andrew, you're thinking of it backwards. It's actually the movement of the quill from the page to the inkwell back to the page that gives you the time to think about what it is you want to write.
I don't think it's long enough time.
Story is so dense that you want the time to think about what you're writing down.
When did Ogier become the?
But he also has-
This is going to be as popular as the Caratheon cycle. man.
But he
Come
also
on.
has a tendency to, like, once it gets stuck on a train of thought, to go on and on and on. And this new
it's
fountain pen would definitely allow him to go on and on and on and on.
When
The
did
only
when
time
did
I
the,
stop a thought is when my pen runs out of ink.
when did the Ogier become the sloths from the DMV in Zootopia?
I think
They
the
predate
sloths,
the Zootopia, actually.
I was going to say, I think the sloths
I
try to
know.
emulate the Ogier.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the crossover we need. That's the headcanon we need.
Are we also going to find a lot of people in real life who really just want to fuck Ogier?
Yes, dude. Have you
Have you
What
met
are-
the Marine
there's
Corps?
already
Ogierkin?
there's
Have you met the Marine
already-
Corps?
I have met the Marine Corps.
So there you go.
All
There's
of
your
them?
answer.
Or-
First to fight for Poon and freedom.
That's right.
And also,
If you
big
didn't
old
already know-
tufted ears.
I'm an Air Force vet, which doesn't mean I get to make all the jokes about Marines. Well, yeah,
Oh,
it
of
does, because I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's another vet making a joke about, so it's not as bad as like a civilian.
I'm not-
being like,
I'm
"Oh,
not
yeah, you
doing
crayon eater.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
doing it.
Daniel's been around Josh and I long enough. He kind of has like a pseudo pass.
That's true. That's
I use it very sparingly, but when I do, it's devastating.
If you don't hear
When
Daniel
I
say
do.
something that goes too far in the episode, it's because we edited it out. we
There you go.
revoked his pass for the statement. Anyway,
All the
Oh,
Patreons are like,
excellent.
"Hey, wait a minute, that joke was fire. Why'd they take it out on the?"
because we knew what would
Just
happen.
remember, if you can't say something nice, say something clever and devastating.
That's right.
I mean,
That's
Daniel
right.
and I have to be the most careful because you live in LA, so you're not that far from a Marine Corps base, and I work on a Marine Corps air station, so. And I
My
know
brother's
there
a
are
Marine.
And let me be very, very clear. Not all the Marines are in shape, but every single one of them could kick my ass. So I do need to be careful.
I generally go off of the Ron White assumption. Didn't know how many it would take to kick my ass, but I knew
But
how
they
many
get
they were
there.
going to use.
Right? Is that?
That's
But
right.
yeah, so Loyal and Aerith, they have their wedding. Unfortunately, I don't think we get to see too much about like Ogier, if anything at all, Ogier wedding customs, other than like kind of how they're
Correct.
initiated.
Yes.
So
We see the matchmaking process a little bit,
Yeah.
but not the wedding
yeah,
process.
and given that there's like it's always a little bit of a shock when somebody kind of wants to leave the setting and go travel for just desire. I don't know how much of a honeymoon thing they have, but being that it's Loyal, I could see him dragging Aerith from steading to steading to steading to get other vantage points from other Ogier about like
Or
the
to, like,
tail end of the last battle and stuff.
Show her the different like stages of his book. You know, this is the two rivers. This is Shinar. This is like retracing them in Field 5. Like
It was
Oh,
here that
yeah.
I stood when Rand first proclaimed himself the Dragon Reborn.
we are going to live here for a week to suck it up.
Wait, it happened right here? Yeah. I was standing right here, and he murdered that guy right there.
Yes, little Timmy, your mother and I conceived you in the same spot Rand proclaimed himself the savior of the world.
But
There's definitely a
And
statue
that
in that
is why you were
campsite
named
in the Fourth Age.
Mr. Emo Boy.
and that is why
Emotep.
we named you Mason Christian Reginald, also known as MCR.
That's right.
I like it. Well, yeah, so finishing his notes, followed by a wedding, which would then be followed by whatever kind of honeymoon, post-marriage ceremonies they have, that kind of stuff. And I think there's a good long time that Loyal spends from then just writing his books, his kind of biography of his experience
magnum
through
opus.
through his tours out, which I think is really cool because given how predisposed Ogier are to patience, it might be that a lot of the writings from the last battle and the events that led up to it are starting to get kind of like corrupted by word of mouth, where Loyal's books start coming out and start correcting some of those errors and inconsistencies. But I think that's pretty much what Loyal does for the rest of his life, up until the point where he probably becomes a member of the Stump because he's regarded for having all of this experience to deal with the outside world.
Oh, yeah.
And I still see him traveling as much as he can, as much as Aerith and and the rest let him. 'Cause,
Right.
you know, he could be gone for, you know, a year, and the Ogier are like, oh, you know, it's not a super
It's a
long
weekend trip.
Yeah. Like, oh, you were only gone for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's true.
that's my
I like
thoughts. That's my thoughts for Loyal. I mean, it's very. I felt it was very on brand with like the way he acts, his mentality. I think it's going to be far. I think he's going to make plenty of like little trips out to go and see, you know, Perrin and Fael, and to go and, you know, visit Elaine, and maybe act as like a kind of uh, not translator, but like liaison between
There
some of
we
the
go.
Ogier.
Ambassador.
Yeah, between the Ogier and Elaine, because she's obviously going to want to take and repair Camelin. So, what?
Is he gonna be the ambassador?
Yes, fucking ambassador.
I'm so mad at me. I hate it so much.
You know, we make enough dad jokes here that I am not confident that you and I are not actually fathers, and we just don't know
Oh,
who the children are.
I'm 99% sure I have a kid somewhere. There's no way that this comes out
like-
of
it's like you see the
comes
guy-
out of this, and I don't have any kids.
It's like the meme of the guy that gets like, you know, when your child is born and your neighbor suddenly decides to develop a sense of humor, and you're just like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
My Air Force recruiter when I was joining the Air Force. Do you have any kids? None that I know of. And he looked up at me and
That's what I
fair
said.
enough.
Right? was he Irish or Scottish?
I'm also partial to
Because it
the.
sounded like
I'm also
He didn't
partial
have
to
the
the none you can prove
Bad
on
enough.
court documents.
as far as I know, I don't have any kids either. But let's be honest.
None that you're aware of.
I don't know where some of my socks went, so you know.
I gotta say,
Andrew got it.
Have you seen the fucking thing on TikTok where it's like, tell me you're a Christian without telling me you're a Christian, and the kid
Yes.
just walks up with his sock and like you hear it crackle as he bends it in half.
the sock says "I love Jesus" on it too.
Oh yeah,
Like-
that's even worse. Like, so fuck, this kid is going straight to hell and will enjoy his TikToks there.
Right. Did you guys have you guys ever seen the like really famous billboard that somebody thought was a good idea, which was you can't praise Jesus with your dick in your hand or with like what like
Yeah.
when you have your penis or whatever, and it's like reach out to Jesus, we can beat it together.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's so terrible. Who designed this shit? I love it.
So bad. You know, I
Anyway.
gotta say, I love your thoughts on Loyal. It's you're not wrong. I agree with what you were saying. How, you know, it is kind of a simple, like a no duh kind of a moment, but you do bring up some really great points where he's going to start have to balancing. You know, he's not a young kid
He's
running
gonna
around
be a
doing
family
whatever
man.
he wants anymore.
Yeah.
He's got a wife now. He's going to have responsibilities in the Ogier community. He
Well, and
does need to
especially
get that
after
book
what he
written.
did by the end of the books. Like again, I'm not saying that every single Ogier is going to look at him like a god, because that's definitely not happening. But at the
Right.
same time, when you walk into the meeting of the stump and you go, "Hey, motherfuckers, if we don't do shit, we're all gonna die. Get your heads out of your asses and let's go up to Shia Ghul." And all of the ogres go, "Oh damn! Look at this guy!" Like they're definitely not looking at you. the same
Okay,
way
okay.
he just-
as
he walks
the
in
last
and-
battle. Like,
And all the Ogier just immediately are just.
yeah, no, I
I have no
So
idea how that sounded.
curious-
Hopefully the voice effect wasn't trash. It probably was.
oh, there was no voice effect.
Oh,
I didn't
well,
get
see,
a voice
it
effect.
was trash. It was supposed to be the
thought it
cathedral
was
one that
just
sounds like a hall.
No,
It
it was beautiful.
I'm disappointed.
Curious question for both of you. not
Curious
just-
answer.
How long do you think it actually takes Loyal to sort of be asked to be a member of the Stump? Not before
I
he
think-
accepts, but before he gets asked.
I think he will be asked around the time he finishes his book, because I believe that will be his sort of contribution that will, they have to wait for a certain amount of time for him to reach, a decent age and for him to have a long enough beard.
How long do you think it's going to take him to finish his books?
Oh, it's never actually going to be
30 to 50 years, bare minimum. Bare minimum.
George R. Martin numbers.
Yeah. Sorry, Game of Thrones people.
I'm not.
Finish my book, Sereth. Stop being so hasty.
Oh my God, that would be such an amazing response.
Just you have like a Little House
I
on the
now
Prairie version of, but it's like Ogier.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I need that
if
in my
any
life.
of you are actually really good artists, can we please get Loyal
As George
drawn
R. R.
in the
Martin.
style of George R. R. Martin? Because that would be fucking hilarious. And
Just
then
get George R. R. Martin's face, put like some big eyebrows and some
There
big
we
ears
go.
on him.
and
widen
then
out his nose.
because he gets told he's hasty all the time by the Ogiers, if we could get Perrin as Brandon Sanderson, I would fucking love it. That would be hilarious.
I'm in. I'm here for that.
This is a free real estate like idea for you.
Right? I'm just not a good enough artist to do it, or I would have kept it to myself. Also, question for both of you.
I didn't even answer.
Oh yeah, you didn't actually answer.
I was going to say like 15 to 20 years.
Nice.
Because I was thinking like that's going to be the time that they're going to give him to kind of. I don't think they're as worried about his notes in his books as anybody else would be. I don't think they're worried about allowing an Ogier to finish his own personal desires before calling them to public service. I think it's more.
Fuck you, you get to the stump now.
Yeah, I think it's more like like maybe 5 to 10 years to get back into the setting and reacclimate because he's been gone, and then the rest of the time to acclimate to married life and that kind of stuff, and let him have his like honeymoon time and that kind of stuff, and then it'll be we want you to join the stump. And I guess I kind of envision him working on his books while he is a part of the stump, and then complaining about the stump taking up so much time and interfering with his books.
Yep.
Even though I feel like do we get told how often the stump actually meets?
Oh, it's so
there's a long time in between, but their sessions run a long time as well.
Right.
So he's gonna lose like 5
Is
years
there
at a
actually
time.
that much time in between, or is it actually just a constant session of the stump? They
I don't
think
know.
that it's 100 years between every stump, but each session of the stump lasts 100 years. So
Let's see if I can find it real quick.
yeah, I don't know. If we get...
No decision is reached without thorough rational discussions. It's called for during times of great change and when important decisions must be made that will affect all of the Ogier. When it was called and what we're reading, it's the first time that the Great Stump had been called for in 1,000 years.
1,000 years, fuck.
So it looks like it's more like need driven for the stump to be called, and there might be because the great stump.
And I think
the great stump is a meeting of
all
Ogier
of
elders
the
from every
elders
setting.
from all of the settings.
So
versus the just little stump, the not as great stump, which is just a meeting of all of the elders of a single setting.
Oh look, it's a little stump. Oh, so cute.
The chode, if you will.
We're talking about the stump of a dogwood tree versus the stump of a California redwood.
Basically. The acceptable stump.
I like it.
Cool.
Which is also Daniel's porn name. The California redwood.
I thought you were saying acceptable stump.
I thought it was the acceptable stump, yeah.
That's
I like both of
that's
them.
the only
I'm
fan
actually
handle
down
when
for
you don't have
either
all the
one.
editing.
Can we do both?
You know what?
Just
I will say this.
on each set. It depends on who I'm working with. It's one of the other.
I will say this, getting back on track, and actually kind of similarly, the character that I thought would have a most interesting fourth age interaction was Tom.
Hey, my
Because
man.
what was Tom doing at
My
the last
bard.
battle? He's writing the epic of the last battle.
Right.
He is putting it together to tell the story to the world. But interestingly enough, he too has additional responsibilities now, as he is now married to Moiraine, and as he now is going to be traveling the world with an Aes Sedai. And I don't believe for one second that Moiraine is going to go into retirement. Yes, the cause of her life's work has finally come to fruition, and she's happy, and she won. But she's going to find another cause, because she is a blue Aes Sedai, a blue Aja Aes Sedai, and she's going to find something else to be passionate about. And she's going to go save the world again.
If I don't have a cause, I will die.
She's going to go save the world again, and Tom's going to be right there with her. And I just see, I see the front porch, the old folks front porch scene, just, yeah, Ma. Only it's like Tom in the back of a wagon, and Moiraine, like hanging out, and they're just sitting there, and then they'll go into a tavern, and Tom's like, I guess I could perform for some gold if I want to. And then Moraine's just like, but all the time they're like scheming. They're like throwing knives at people and passing notes. And
I love that idea of just Moiraine and Tom just being so good at the game of houses and just playing all the time and just being so successful everywhere they go and doing whatever. And so Moiraine and Tom just go into a tavern, and by the end of the night, they have successfully received every piece of information that could possibly be known about this entire town.
I can see him like having a competition. Oh, did you hear about blah blah blah? Yeah, I heard about that like 20 minutes ago. Did you hear about blah 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 blah? Yeah, totally. Like saw that coming in. Did you hear about blah 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 blah? No, I didn't hear about that. Good one. Okay, point for you.
I mean, you have the charismatic bard.
Yeah.
And you also have the sorcerer. So it's literally just convince people, sorcerer. Oh, you don't want to tell me? Charm person.
Well, and also the real question is, in the competition, which person drinks everyone under the table more regularly?
Tom, definitely.
Oh, all right.
What if Moiraine was just a closet alcoholic? Like after meeting Rand, I could definitely.
Are you kidding? She's not a closet alcoholic. She used to be a closet alcoholic.
She's a
she used to be
closet alcoholic.
Now, after having dealt with Rand, she is very much an open alcoholic.
She's very open about it now. No, but I think
if I tell people that I went to the last battle with the Dragon Reborn, they're gonna understand why I drink. I think it'll be fine.
You're an Aes Sedai, right? Yeah. This is like your 15th glass of wine. What are you doing? I was at the last battle, and I had spent 2 years with the dragon.
They're like, oh,
and Tom's just in the corner playing.
It's on the house.
Strumming his new guitar that he got from Rafe Sage. And it's just like, just fucking leave her alone, dude.
This is the 7th glass of wine you've had. It's called Recovery. Look it up. Gosh.
And then Tom's over there like, so anyway, here's Wonderwall.
Why are you drinking so much? I'm sorry, I thought this was Caemlyn.
Throw it back to you.
I'm sorry, I thought this was Caemlyn. No, but the other thing is it's going to create an interesting contrast with Loyal's account. And this is kind of where I was going with this, because when Tom finishes his epic and it becomes, I think it will be popular. I think it will be something that bards and gleemen and that they're playing. But I think that by the time Loyal rolls around, a lot of those corrections are going to it's gonna, and the wheel turns. The wheel keeps turning. It's gonna be the different people with the different perspectives, accepting what they've heard or what they've read or what it's just gonna be the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Well, and that's actually a question that I have for you based on your thing, because I love the relation between the two and everything like that. But both people were in such vastly different places during the last battle. Is Tom's story just about the last battle? Also, how many other bards around the world are writing versions of the last battle and they weren't even fucking there? Obviously, I think that Tom's probably becomes the most popular just because he's such a master bard and his seems so real because he was fucking there. Like,
can you imagine like the end of the last battle from Tom's perspective? And it's like, dude, what happened? It's the moment the border was sealed. It had to look so amazing. He's like, it looked like a bunch of Trollocs and rocks from where I was. And then suddenly,
wait, what did the boar look like when it was closing up around you? And he was like, my wife coming out of right there.
Yeah. Looked like a big ass rock.
I love it.
That actually kind of brings up
I like the idea of so many bards coming out with the version of the last battle like the day after, because you gotta be first, and just going ahead and performing their version, and the gleemen and bards and whatnot all over the place being like, cool, doesn't matter whether I'm accurate, I just gotta get it out. And they all just do vastly different versions of the last battle, and then Tom takes a little bit more time with his to go ahead and figure out things, but not too long. I mean, within a couple of weeks, he's got his thing. And then he's performing it everywhere, and he's doing it in high chant, he's doing it in low chant, he's doing it in common rooms, he's doing it in palaces, like, again, everywhere.
He's all over the place.
He's all over the place. And again, his is always consistent, always as accurate as possible, yet also so embellished in all the right ways. And then 30 years later, we get, Loyal's book. And it just even shores up any and all, like, the rest of the inconsistencies. I fucking love that, of just, like, the trajectory of stories and the trajectory of epics and things like that. I love it.
Yeah, it just, I like the idea that
Tom does it anywhere.
That Tom writes his, and he may not
be
be first,
into the Queen's blessing. Wasn't me.
Writes it such.
Caught me
He writes it
in
in
the
such a
royal
way
palace.
that it can still be accurate.
She even caught me in the Emerald
and
study.
Yes,
Sorry.
no, exactly. And I think that's one of the things, that there will be other versions of the last battle that stick, just because those bards or those gleemen who came up with them or found, this kernel of information and just broadened that they just sound so cool that people are still going to sing them or recite them for years. Yes. But we'll know, and most people will know, that again, oh, that one doesn't sound real. Like, it sounds cool, but it doesn't sound real. I know there isn't actually a Santa Claus, even though he's dope as shit. Like, I know that it's my parents, but if you can embellish that it's my parents, like, I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. It's a great story. It's a hilarious story, and it has stood the test of time, even though it's totally real. Like, again, it's just about mom and dad. It's not actually about Santa at all. And yet it's so funny and so clever and so nice. That's going to be Tom's. Right. That's going to be Tom's version.
I like it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Cool.
I can see it with my mind's eye. So what about you there, Daniel?
Yeah, hit it.
Yeah, so I went lame. I did super lame. And this is one that I thought was going to be controversial, which is one of the reasons that I sort of chose it. Because I chose a Rand. I know that we've talked about him a little bit in the past, but he's like the quintessential New Age Whodis, because he's got a new fucking body. Like, he is new phone Whodis to the extreme.
Avienda walks in. Oh, new dick. All right.
No, that would be the worst. Avienda, Elaine, and Maynard walk into the room and go, "All right, show us." Takes off his
Let's
pants.
see
They're
what we
like,
got.
We've made the joke about it being like more impressive, but what if it's like
right.
drastically like less impressive? Like
he takes
fucking
down his
micro
pants
peen.
and they're all like, "Fuck."
like a side effect of the saw is like steroids. It shrinks your balls and dick.
Or that was like the Dark One's curse when he resurrected him. That was his punishment.
So now Rand and Morden's body is pushing a solid inch and a half.
Yeah.
Got a fucking
No,
chode.
it's
3 inches in
interesting.
girth, inch and a half in length. I can plug any hole.
Oh. No.
Oh.
So we've talked a little bit about Rand.
Which I think
and-
Rand could just will it to whatever size they wanted. It's
Right.
It's a build a penis.
This same
Wait, what are the-
dick?
What are the pinchers for? Oh, they're to hold on to you. I don't want to use my hands.
Still got moles and curves to the side.
But yeah, it's interesting because Rand has gone through, such an out
You
of
have
body
power over reality.
experience.
How do you have herpes?
It came with the body. I'm not the
Oh,
creator.
no!
Sorry that I got
Jesus.
stuck driving a pre-owned model.
Ah.
It was a daily driver
Hey,
for this
It
bastard.
happens. It happens.
It does. It
Don't
does.
judge.
I try not to.
Pairing with pre-owned models, perfectly fine. Being stuck in the body of a pre-owned model kind of sucks potentially.
You should have gotten the Carfax.
That's
Should have gotten. Oh shit.
But yeah, he's had such an out of body experience. He's had such like a transcendent experience multiple times at this point, because of course he's like basically fixed himself from madness on the peak of Dragon Mount, and he's now changed bodies with another human being. I mean, Forsaken, but still human being, and he has talked to the Dark One outside of time.
it's
And
still
you're
a
like,
freshly new body.
Bruh, basically. But there was a Forsaken in it. I don't know what damage is on.
Still
is
has
going
that
on
new
with
asshole smell.
freshly bleached. But yeah, so
Just slap
But
him
at
on
the
the
same
head.
time-
You can fit so many mental issues in this.
but
Yeah.
it's interesting because there are definitely a couple of ways that it can. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of ways that it can go, but there are two kinds of people basically who go through something like that, where either they get way sort of removed from reality, or they get way more sucked into reality because they've seen more.
Step back
If
to
you will.
reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes rabbit. But he burpity.
Oh, he grabbed Calendar. Wait,
Oh.
Oh, but his dick's
Um,
too small, and Avian is not interested.
wah wah. Wait, I know an igloo somewhere. I bet I can find it.
Hey-oh.
It's not gonna help. You're gonna turn me into an innie.
But yeah, and so definitely, I've had the thought that Rand would, kind of just go off and ride off into the sunset and never to be seen again, because he basically just transcends the timeline. And it's just like, I have seen so much. I am
He becomes
off. My
Gandalf the
people
Grey.
need me. Basically, yeah, Grey Havens kind of thing. But I actually think that Rand in the Fourth Age gets even more down to earth than he was. I think that he's actually just seen so much, and he realizes. I mean, honestly,
He
almost
knows a thing or
killing
two because he's
Tam.
seen a thing or two.
Yes, exactly. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. And what I need right now are pictures of Spider-Man.
Motherfucker.
Oh my god! Have
I
you guys
don't want
seen-
sighting. I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Have you guys seen? You
The
guys
hell with your
are.
news. I want pictures of Spider-Man.
You are clearly aware that J.K. Simmons does the voice for Tenzin in The Legend of Korra, right?
Yes, I have heard this.
So
Tenzin
cool.
is Aang's son, right?
Yes, one of his three sons, his oldest son.
His oldest son
Actually is no
proves
Boomie's
that
definitely
Katara is into
Boomie's.
grandpa's.
right? um, so he also then is very much live action, a character. He's the band director in the movie Whiplash, and he is horribly abusive. And just yells swear words and things constantly and things like that. So someone took a bunch of his lines from Whiplash and superimposed them into scenes from The Legend of Korra. And it is fucking hilarious.
All right.
If you
I
guys have
want
not
a
yet
link to
seen
this.
it, go check out just YouTube The Legend of Whiplash. It is absolutely fucking hilarious. Anyway,
something to be said. 3 different Spider-Mans. 1 J. Jonah Jameson.
Accurate. But anyway, I definitely think that Rand realizes in so many ways that he could not have gotten through this without his dad. He realizes that actually getting him to the last battle and making him the man who could be the dragon definitely took a lot of work, and that he kind of owes it in so many ways to a lot of people in his life to go ahead and be there for them. And again, not just the friends he made along the way, but also he's got some kids and they are going to need a dad. And again, I mean, like, he grew up without a parent. I mean, he grew up with a father, but mostly without a mother. Now, granted, she wasn't his actual real mother. He wasn't his actual real father, but they raised him. And he even has memories of Kari Althor. But again, he grew up for most of his life without her. She actually dies when he's relatively
We didn't
young.
earn this fuck trophy, but we
That's
have it in
right.
our possession.
That's right.
I don't know. I think you can earn a fuck trophy if you kill enough people, which is how Tam got Rand.
That's
Wow.
fair.
That's
I
a
mean,
mood, sir.
I got this baby like I got this sword by killing enough people.
Yeah. I mean, and to be like completely fair and honest, I think one of the things that people either consciously or subconsciously love so much about Tam and have a kind of innate respect for Kari Althor is there's, at least in the US, there's a built-in respect for people that take on the responsibility of raising children that are not their biological children. And
Yes.
it's definitely warranted. Like,
Oh,
you have to
100%.
make that choice.
Yes.
And
I don't
it's
know if I
incredibly
could do
noble.
it. I mean, I think it is actually incredibly noble. I think that I would have a hard time with that decision. So I
Mhm.
respect the fuck out of anybody who either comes down on the side of, no, absolutely, these are my kids. I'm going to raise them like they're mine, even if they didn't come out of my ball sack. I'm raising these kids. They're going to be my kids. Or the people who, without even hesitation, go right there. Like, fucking amazing. Fuck yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that Rand really does recognize how important it is to go ahead and raise those children and not to just leave them with, you know, being single parented, with, you know, being raised in the royal palace mostly by maids and things like that. Not that Elaine would not be a present mother and things like that, but she is also a queen. I mean, there's definitely responsibilities. There is some shit that she needs to do, and she's a Queen Aes Sedai. Like, there is going to be some shit that she needs to do. She will love the shit out of those kids. I absolutely think that Elaine would be a good mother, but there's a lot of other things that she needs to do as well. And if she's not there all the time and Rand's not there at all, who does the responsibility fall to? Andrew,
Thank you.
you have had your hand up for a little while.
So the question I have is, like, I think we see at the end of the series a Rand that very much wants the world to believe that the Dragon Reborn is gone, that person has
Correct.
died. So, how do we have Rand in Mordin's body be a present father? Because you either have to create a bridge that allows for this figure of Mordin to now be involved with and marry Elaine and Avienda, and potentially Min. Let's just assume that by the end of the series, Min is pregnant as well, or not. Even if she's not, still for Elaine.
Or even if he just wants
and
to be
Avienda.
around not even
Yeah.
kids in it. But yeah,
Because like if he just pops up and he's there, I think it's all too easy that people figure out, okay, something happened and that's actually the Dragon Reborn, and we should still worship him and he should be in charge of everything. Which is not what Rand wants and not what, anybody wants, and anybody with a sane mind is like, yeah, that's not no, let's not do that.
I think the answer is they lie to everybody but their kids. And they even sort of just hush hush with their kids for a long time. But I think
they're old enough to not spout out shit.
Basically. I think that Rand masks of mirrors himself and is 3 different people, one for each girl, so that nobody fucking figures it out. And they all know who he is. They all absolutely know who he is. And they
On
know
Wednesdays,
what's going on.
you get Dick C.
Sometimes they mix it up.
Yeah. I mean, that's not like to say like, oh, there's no way to do it. I think there is.
I think there is. And I think that Rand is smart enough, and definitely Elaine Min and Avienda are fucking smart enough.
I don't know. I don't know for me if I could envision Rand doing all of those steps to still be a present father for his children, or if Rand sees it better that his children, at least until they're much older, I think that eventually at some point he does, engage with his children. But I could also see Rand waiting until they are like middle to older teens before talking to them and letting them be brought up by a trustworthy family that is taught like the legacy of who their father was.
Interesting. See, I actually
kind of like, oh brother, where art thou? Mama said you got run over by a train. Except their dad actually isn't a criminal.
Yes,
I mean, he's still a war criminal, but
Yeah.
Oh.
He left his crimes in his old body.
Wah wah.
Hey.
And a glass city to prove it. Yeah, no.
Not the burrow. Not the burrow.
Oh,
no, I like the thought. I definitely am I'm not saying that you're wrong in any way, shape, or form, but I definitely think that they figure out a way. I mean, even if it's something as like kind of weirdly messed up as like calling him uncle whatever until they're old enough, and then he's just around as that father figure, and then later they realize that he actually was dad all along, even though they didn't get told that from the beginning. He has actually been giving them that support and that that experience and that the whatever and then, as I said, because you're totally right, that definitely maybe they do tell them when they're young and they just walk around with these 5-year-olds who are like, my dad's the Dragon Reborn, and they're like, you're adorable, you're also 5, fuck you, he's dead. Like, because let's be honest, 5-year-olds are
sainted with my good eye.
Right? 5-year-olds are constantly doing that. You get 5-year-old who's like, I won 7 trophies in baseball, and you're like, buddy, you play football. Like, you don't even play baseball. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I could see that.
Right.
So I feel like he's there, and definitely again, he is transcendent. He's seen things that no other human being has seen. He has seen things that would make some people go fucking insane. He's dealt with madness, and he might even still have some in him. Like, it's not even. It's definitely possible that like there's a certain amount of that's absolutely still there. I mean, Nynaeve does her best. The new body helps because he's not in pain constantly. Like, all of these things are nice, but who knows? It's really hard to say whether Rand actually even is fully healed and things
Fourth
like that.
age theories are so much fun.
Oh
to
yeah,
unravel and go into.
yeah.
Well,
So
I know
I
Josh.
definitely think he sort of lives out his life as that, and is just there for his friends. But I would bet that he definitely takes long sabbaticals.
Yeah.
There's definitely times where he just needs to go fuck off for a while and be like, oh my god, that thing that I saw when I was talking to the Dark One, holy shit.
Wait a minute, that's a thing.
So,
But
Josh, you are more likely / definitely have a more pressing heart out for this. So
yeah, I
why
would
don't
say
we?
we should actually just put the second character on hold. We'll talk about it at some point.
Oh, I was gonna say we
like
still
fourth
do it, but
age
let Josh go
theories.
first.
Hit me.
Oh,
I've got this.
all right, let's do it. If you're down, I'm down.
I'm down. We can do this.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
if it's
We
good with
can
you,
make-
if it's good with the Sorvan Mahale, we'll let you go ahead and go second, and then that way, while we're going through like my second and Daniel's second, if you do need to leave, then you know.
Yeah,
you
was it good for you?
I used the pump
So
and
I'm-
everything.
I'm going back. I don't care that it's cliche.
Do it.
One of my favorite things is Logain.
Yeah.
Because Logain is a very tortured character, literally and metaphorically. The dude has been faced with failure after failure after failure after failure after failure, and then is literally tortured by Aes Sedai and Shadowspawn. So he is he's in a real place where he can do a lot of real good for the world, or he can do a lot of evil. And I, being the optimist that I am, I like to believe that Logain overcomes a lot of that trauma and is eventually known as someone who is representative of the idea that the Black Tower is always there to protect. And when people say, "Oh, we'll bring our sons to you to have them tested to see if they have the gift," I like to think that those are the moments that he holds on to, and those are the moments that that get him through.
I like it.
And he's gonna face issues with getting the Black Tower to be seen as an entity in the world, as a free entity. He's gonna have issues with sovereignty, because now we've got Elaine, Queen of Andor, who's not happy about the Black Tower and is going to try and exert her ownership and dominance over that. We've got the Shan-Chan, who I don't believe for 1 second that they're going to go, they're part of Camelin, so we won't have to do anything. I think they're going to stir shit up. So I feel like the Black Tower is
the tribemen's souls.
a seed of a great tree that is just waiting to blossom and sprout. And when it does, it's going to shoot off into a million different directions, and we're going to have so much. Then Logain is the one that has to be there to deal with it all.
I like it.
So that's my what do I think what would I would like to see, and what I think he's going to do is I think he's going to crush it. I think he's going to usher in that first sort of era at the Black Tower, and I think he's going to have problems with Elaine, because Elaine is Aes Sedai, and Elaine doesn't like him and he doesn't like her, and they're going to have some issues there. But I think they're going to be able to figure out ways to live harmoniously.
And there's probably also some leftover baddies that need to be removed, or what's another word for removed or destroyed or gotten rid of there, Josh? I'm trying to think of it. Starts with an E.
Oh, you mean when they exterminate?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's still some baddies that they're going to have to exterminate from the Black Tower. You're welcome.
The Trader's Tree will be full of exterminated traitors.
Exterminate. Exterminate.
A Black Tower will exterminate its enemies.
I don't know why, but somehow my brain went from exterminate and somehow amalgamated that back to Snape from Harry Potter. You made me think of the TikTok I saw today, where you know how you have platform 9 3/4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I forgot which Harry Potter book it is, but the famous where Snape's turn to page.
That's the third one.
Yeah, so it's in Prisoner of Azkaban. It fits with 9 3/4.
394.
Yeah, well, platform 9 and 3/4. That's 9 and 3/4. Turn to page 394. Ah,
Easter eggs.
Yep.
sure.
There will be no silly incantations or foolish wand waving in this class.
Good old Severus.
And you were unsuccessful in your endeavor to become Defense of the Dark Arts teacher? Obviously. The smacks Rand. Oh, not Rand. Ron and Harry in the back of the head.
Umbridge is the worst.
Yeah, fuck Umbridge.
Oh.
Fuck Umbridge.
All right, what's your guys' second
Bruh.
characters?
You want me to go?
Go for it.
Oh. Well, my second character. Oh, it do be the man that do be with his aged grandmother. It do be Bail Dolman.
Bale.
Yeah.
He's a married man.
He is.
Now, would he give up his not so aged wife? Doubtful.
His not so aged.
Does his wife
I
go
love
it.
back to the sea? That's a good question. Does
I don't know. I would think
that's
at
a good
least in some
question.
capacity.
If you say so yourself, what the fuck was that? Oh, I'm gonna ask a question and then give myself a pat on the back for asking such a good fucking question.
I mean, to be fair, that's the predominance of current American politics and societal thought.
What
so.
we do.
Oh, have you guys seen the edit where it's Paul Rudd on Hot Ones and he's just talking to himself?
No.
Oh my
I'll
god,
have to
it's
check that out.
it's
I think I've
actually
seen
really
it.
funny. Yeah, he's like, "You're actually a really good interviewer," and then it pops over to the other side and it's just Paul Rudd, and he's like, "Thank you." It's so good.
Oh, dude. So many gems from Hot Ones.
It's so good.
Yeah, so by the end of the series, Bail Dolman has been married to a Ganon who becomes known, gets her name changed by, I believe, Tuon, to Leolwyn Shipless, which I believe is like part of effect of removing her from the authority of having like a ship, and to announce her as like, because she's the one that walks in or is present whenever Matt, what does he do? Does he name? He basically in Sean Chan speak, which Matt doesn't know and does it accidentally, tells Ganon at the time that Tuon is his wife 3 times, which starts the Sean Chan marriage rituals.
Yes, Egyanin and Tuon's handmaiden basically are both there,
but
and they're both like, "You motherfucker! What did you just say?"
so
actually,
so
they're not like, "You motherfucker." They're actually like, "You low-born piece of shit! How dare you!"
Yeah.
That's really.
So Bail Dolman, by the end of the series, he is married to a Ganon who is renamed Leolwyn. There we go.
Leolwyn.
Layla.
And the kind of the last thing we see from them,
Layla.
last thing we see is Leolwyn looking at Gawain and being like, "Yeah, those fucking rings. Yeah, you definitely don't want to fucking use them. You shouldn't put them on. They're terrible. Like, it is dangerous."
Okay, I'll put him on.
And like Dolman's like, "Yeah, bro, listen to me, mano y mano. You should fucking listen to my wife. She's pretty fucking smart."
My wife.
And
Don't
of
ring.
course, like Gawain
My
does,
wife.
is just like, well, this doesn't quite open the duck sauce packet for this meal, so I'm gonna do it fucking anyway. But the last we see of Bail and Leolwyn, and his wife, the last we see of Bail and his wife is they skim together with Egwene and Gawain back to the White Tower.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it.
Well, doesn't Lalwyn, she becomes Egwene's warder, doesn't she?
I didn't look that.
I know
far
she
into it.
swears to serve the Amarillan.
They swear to serve the Amarillan, but I don't
They
think
don't
it comes with a
bond.
bond.
I don't believe so, but I don't know that for sure. Now I'm questioning.
I definitely know how to spell her name at least, so I can look it up.
Because I don't think she's actually affected by Egwene's death. I mean,
don't
like,
think she is
sorry,
either.
I shouldn't say that. She's affected by Egwene's death, but not warder affected. Those are two different things.
So while in service to the White Tower, she seeks out Egwene while at the fields of Marilor. Spots Galwin with the blood knife Terangrial and warns him that there will be consequences if it touches his blood. Demandred and the Sara invade Aes Sedai camp, and Leolwyn comes back for Egwene, who has been captured by Ashara and Chandler, and saves her from certain death. Leolwyn and Galwin lead Egwene out of the Sharan camp back to where Dolmen waits for her. They then skim back to the White Tower. She then takes Galwin's place. Oh, no, she does. She is a warder. She takes Galwin's place as Egwene's warder after Galwin is killed trying to assassinate. Oh, yeah, because that's part of what enables Egwene to recover and actually undo everything Taim tries to do.
Yeah, no, you're totally right.
So fucking
See, if the
on
fact
there,
checker Mahale were here, he could have backed me up.
Well, yeah, but you gotta y'all party too fucking hard.
We do. It was awesome.
There was a phrase he said in the Snapchat you sent me that I wish I could still remember.
Oh god.
And it was just so fucking glorious. It was fucking hilarious. And I'm like, this is what it feels like to be the sober one listening to drunk ramblings. It was fucking glorious. It was obvious y'all had a fantastic
I wouldn't know
time.
anything about what that sounds like.
I don't know.
Perfect.
If I don't remember it, it didn't happen. That's my legal defense.
Nice. So what do you got? What does Aegianan do? Or what is Bail Doman? What is Bail Doman doing?
Yeah. I think Bail, I think he tries to return to what he is used to. I think he tries to return to the seafaring trade. It's a good way to experience a fair chunk of the world.
Peppers.
Yeah. I don't know if he concentrates on ice peppers anymore, but I could see Bail Doman's career culminating in being the chief naval merchant for the Shan-Chan, or something of that nature through his connection with Leolwyn. But I also see kind of the way he regards and treats Leolwyn, that he's going to spend a good bit of his time trying to help Leolwyn regain any kind of honor and status that she has lost. And kind of proven, their worth. To me, that just innately always felt like something that was part of Bail Doman. On par with his desire for money was his desire for, to at least be seen no less than what he is. If you saw him as just another seafaring merchant that was out to make money, he was fine with that. But the people that saw him as dishonest or manipulative, that kind of stuff, those are people he actually had an issue with, and that's a perception that I felt Bail Doman would want to correct.
It's one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to see my honor or you're going to get my knife. I don't know which one it is, but you will no longer see me as a dishonest man.
Listen here, it do be like this. You can either feel me honor or feel me steal. Your choice.
That's right.
Hey, I like it.
Fuck boy.
I train for 3 hours a day so that when I meet a pirate, I can kill him.
You need to find yourself a girlfriend, mate.
Easy there, Will.
Oh.
Yeah, Bail Doman coins the phrase fuckboy.
Do you think he makes any, I was about to say, other than coining the phrase fuckboy, do you think he makes any significant impact?
I mean,
or does he just go back to
not enough? Jesus,
I was
what
just,
do you want?
I didn't say it wasn't enough. I was just saying, other than that most auspicious of revelations, is there?
I don't know if there's anything that would equate with coining the phrase "fuckboy," but I mean, so assuming that he becomes one of the high merchants of the Shan-Chan, or at least a high merchant in general that liaises a lot of shit between the. Stop, fucking Daniel! God damn it! Fucking Daniel over here smoking his imaginary blunt.
I'm telling you right now.
What? Sorry, I was sick of being too loud to hear you.
Those are some dope ass ice peppers. I tell you what.
This is what we call a Yeti strain.
The best thing is if you dry out and crush up the ice peppers, then you can put them in some paper and then, woo! No wonder this shit is illegal. Hey.
No, but I mean, whatever high mercantile station he winds up in, and I think it'll definitely be navally oriented, given his wife's history and his own history.
I mean, Aegionen's pretty attractive. I'm pretty sure it'll be naval oriented.
I mean, yeah, I don't remember Aegionen's description. Tall, thin, fair skin, dark hair, sharp blue eyes. Face is attractive but stern. Hands are slender with swordsman's calluses. She's 5'7". Hair was originally very short, although she wears it in a bowl cut since birth. She's fucking Mo from the Three Stooges. How do you want your haircut? Oh, I don't know. As long as it's all in the same line. Bowl.
I love it.
Oh, wait.
All
No. She shaves it all off after she joins Val and Luca's circus and then wears a wig.
That's a huge thing.
Right.
Because
she also
I
cuts
think
her
I think that's part of why she got punished too, right? For impersonating the blood or whatever.
No, because she cuts her fingernails short.
yeah.
The mark of the blood is like having longer lacquered fingernails.
I thought there was a hair
She
thing
gets
too.
in trouble.
Oh, no,
There
the
is.
the
It's
shave
the
thing
side
is,
of the
yeah.
head shaven.
Yeah, there's a hair component as well.
Just part
Yeah.
of the head shaven.
Yeah.
Basically, Andrew's gonna get in trouble because he's got two sides of his head shaved, and so when Tuan
Sorry,
comes in,
the back
power-
is-
Yeah,
The
where's
back
your
is shaved.
where's your
Okay, fair.
lacquered
Yeah,
lacquered
motherfucker.
Oh, it's right here.
Ah,
Oh, sorry, wrong finger.
pinkies? Oh. Hey, I've got
Whoa,
those
whoa! Why am I also getting this? This hurts.
Because I can't control who sees what from the webcam. Like, I can't. I don't. I mean,
Turn
unless
away,
I keep
child.
out of the Zoom.
Turn
You know
away,
what?
sweet child.
That sounds like a you problem. All right.
Not gonna make the joke. Not gonna make the joke.
Do it. Do it. Always make the joke.
At
Andrew.
least when I record, I can hear everybody.
Ah!
There you go.
That joke was inspired by Morden, not my own malice. There are many
You mean
things within my
more
control.
Shoddy?
What did I say?
That was hit
Oh,
by
okay.
Moradin. I don't know what
Andrew's
from
had
beyond
enough.
the grave. Moradin's got some true power.
Listen,
Sasha.
we
Daniel-
talked
True
about
story
Morden more
saga.
recently than we did more Shoddy, and they're very close. All right.
They are pretty close.
Daniel, round
Fuck
us
off.
out. Kick this thing right off the edge.
Cool. I'm actually going to talk about one of the other characters that I'm not huge fan of in the story, but actually think could really do some good after, which is Cadsuane. I think that Cadsuane is a lot of a problem during the story. She definitely has a lot of a superiority complex over a lot of characters, and does not handle Rand that well. I really don't think she does. But at the same time, I actually think that Cadsuane is particularly progressive. I think that she left the tower not even just because it was her time, but also because she actually had a little bit of a problem with what the Aes Sedai were doing and how they were doing things. And so when she actually gets an opportunity at the end of the books to become the Amarlin seat and take over the White Tower and do things how she sees fit, I definitely don't think that every interaction that she has is positive. I think that she rubs a lot of people the wrong way, ruffles a lot of feathers, but when it comes right down to it, I think that Cadsuane actually changes the tower for the better. I think that a lot of that stuffy old kind of tradition, like, she seems to have some respect for it, so she doesn't just toss it all out the window. But I think that definitely she has been in the last battle. She sees what the Ashman get right. She sees what everybody needs to do to get things done. And again, while I don't think that she handles Rand very well, I think that she learns. That is one of the things that I really appreciate about Cadsuane in the books, is that while I think she is old enough and sort of stuck enough that I would say she never actually admits when she's wrong out loud, I'm pretty sure she actually changes things internally. I think that she knows she fucked up with Rand. I think that she realizes that there is a lot that could have gone smoother and better, and that she had a hand in it. And so she learns from those experiences, and when she gets the opportunity to change the White Tower, she eliminates some of the fat, she cuts away some of the bad stuff, and that really the Aes Sedai are better for it on the other side. I don't think they're perfect. I definitely think that they are still probably into the next stage more manipulative than they need to be, trying to be more involved in things than they actually belong. But when it comes right down to it, I think it's probably better under Cadsuane than it was under Siuan. And
I think she does a lot
infinitely
of
better than fucking Elida. Like
I've always viewed Cadsuane, given her like impressive longevity, as
for
more of a
starters,
like
right?
yeah, as more of a kind of ends justify the means character.
Yes.
That she knows that how she's handling Rand and what she's making Rand do and what she's doing that angers and pushes Rand to action isn't
She
the
at least
way.
thinks.
Like, have you ever watched? No, I know Daniel, you haven't. Josh, have you watched Hunter x Hunter?
I haven't watched it all the way through. I've seen the first.
Well,
Few
guys, it's been
episodes.
great with the Black Tower podcast. I quit,
Jesus
and
fucking Christ.
no. So basically, like in Hunter x Hunter, there comes a point where the kind of two main characters, by that point in the series, are trying to learn an ability, and the guy that's going to teach them is like, there's two ways. You can follow this doctrine and learn it, and it could take you months, or because I know you guys really need it, I can forcibly make you be open to it. But if you don't learn to control it, it'll kill you.
Right.
Cadsuane is option 2.
She is.
Cadsuane is the last battle is nigh. I need to push you to do things. We just have to do what's going on and what happens. So, as much as like, I think Cadsuane gets a very callous reputation as an individual because part of her character is very callous. It's a, and Josh, I know you'll definitely understand this. It's a 100% mission first mentality.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We don't give a shit what your personal problem is. Complete the mission, and then we'll deal with your thing. But,
if we ever actually do. But
if we ever actually do. I foresee Cadsuane being perceived as softer post last battle because of her experience, because of her longevity, and seeing how people react with different stimuli over time. And finally, for her, in terms of what needs to be done, being able to breathe. Like we have time to do things and be able to take a slower approach. It's kind of the same way we talked about how the Black Tower and the training of Ashaman will go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can go ahead and go a little softer, and it's not just last battle oriented.
You don't have to fiercely like pump super fast for 30 seconds to get one of the climaxes done. You can take your time. You can do some foreplay, and then you can 30-second speed run at the very end if you need to.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent.
I got mine. Why didn't you get yours? That sounds like a you problem.
I hear what you're saying, and I can get behind that because I think you're right. Cadsuane, and when she's introduced, is one of the few who recognizes immediately that the end is nigh. It's time for Tarman Gaiden, and I need to know what we have on our side. She doesn't have the luxury of coming in and saying, "Oh, hello, Rand. My name is Cadsuane. I'm a legendary Aes Sedai. I'm here to help."
I mean, doesn't she even make allusions about like if she had been around the male Chandlers for years prior, she could teach them a few things, but there's no time now.
And she says these things, and she says, "I've got to get this kid to the last battle." And I like what you're saying, how she sort of softens towards the end, because I think as she makes mistakes with Rand, I think she's one of the few Aes Sedai who's able to go, okay, the Aes Sedai ways just aren't working. We need to be better. We need to do better. And as much as I really don't like Cadsuane, it's almost a trope at this point in time. I don't like them, but their character is still really well written. And there's a really great job on the character.
As we've talked about before on this podcast, and we'll talk about again, you don't have to like somebody to respect them. And while I don't love the way that Cadsuane comes out of the gate and deals with Rand, what she has to offer is still epic. I don't hate everything about Cadsuane. I just don't like that the character that I relate most to gets such a beating from her, kind of thing. Like, fuck.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think you're right. I think her as the Amyrlin is going to
Well, and again,
make significant impact on the world.
One of the things that I sort of like lean on for that is just how much I feel like Cadsuane left the White Tower because she was like, this is bullshit. And so now that she, like, again, it's literally in some ways having somebody who works for your company for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Retires from your company because they're like, I can't do this anymore. And then 20 years after that, when they're well into their life, you make them the CEO of your company. And they're like, all right, cool. We're going to do things so differently because holy shit, did it suck when I worked here.
Yeah.
Like, and so I like the idea of them really going to Cadsuane and being like, you're the oldest of us, or at least close. You have the most experience. Please, like, take over the tower. We're a little listless right now. And she goes, cool.
I'm the boss.
Let me fix this shit.
And you're not going to like it, but I'm going to fix it.
Well, and of course, that's one of the things that I actually appreciate.
Because she has some hard spots, too.
That's what I was literally about to say. That's what I was literally about to say. That one of the nice things about Cadsuane is that on one hand,
do the sound effect that quickly
a little
back to back.
softer. I think that she does actually learn from her mistakes. She does do whatever. But at the same time, she's a hard woman. She is a stubborn woman. She is a big personality woman. And so when she goes into the tower and she goes, all right, this is gone, this is gone, this is gone. And like every sitter goes, Cadsuane, you can't do that. She goes, oh, really? Fuck you, we're doing this.
Yeah, she'll
you can't do this. Watch me.
Right? Don't believe me, just watch.
Like I fully like I know we've talked about like the aftermath of the White Tower post last battle, and for me it's very much up in the air. Like if they maintain the standard of the Oath Rod, I could very much see Cadsuane as saying like, no, the Oath Rod cost you half of your fucking life, so we're gonna say no to that.
I feel like on some level, one of the things that I've always questioned just a little bit is Cadsuane still bound by the Three Oaths? Because she is like stupid old for an Aes Sedai. I'm like actually pretty sure that she unbound herself from the Three Oaths. And again, she's not Black Aja. She didn't take new ones. Like she didn't take ones to the shadow or anything. I think that she is actually still a good person, like on the side of the light, all of that good stuff. And that when it comes right down to it, she probably is still following the Three Oaths. But at the same time, I'm like pretty sure that Cadsuane before she left the tower was like, cool, I'm getting myself removed from those because fuck that shit. And then she lived way longer and was like, hold the fucking phone, guys.
If you get broken from the Oaths of the Oath Rod, does it work do you actually get that lifespan back?
I don't know.
Or
that's a hard
do you
question.
Not get it back, or do you get it as a gradient off of however much life you have spent underneath the Oaths? You get a gradient of what would be left over.
Because presumably all of the kin either were women that were found before they ever went to the tower or didn't make it far enough in the tower to take the oaths at all. So now the question is, does taking oaths on the Oath Rod period fuck you? Or is it the length of time, or is it once you remove yourself, you completely are gone, or who fucking knows?
Go ahead, Josh, and then I'll say what I gotta say.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it's when you're actively bound to the Oath Rod, you know, they talk about it tightening, like you can feel it tightening. I think when you're released from that oath, that effect is no longer there. I think that's something that's like holds on to you like a weight. You can carry a 5-pound weight for 2 minutes, no problems. But you start carrying a 5-pound weight for an hour, and it starts getting difficult. You start carrying a 5-pound weight for 2 hours without
It's like
putting it down without stopping.
Clapping your hands
Now
over
it's
your head.
really hard. Yeah,
Doing that is super easy. Do it for fucking 30 minutes like I got forced to do in career training for the
Exactly.
military. And by like the third minute, you're just like, shoot me.
I hate everything, and I want to die.
I mean,
Exactly.
so like,
So
Cat Swain is 300 years old
Yep.
and considered exceptionally old for an Aes Sedai.
But
Which-
not by kin standards.
Yeah, not by Ken standards. Ken's are like,
Exactly,
oh yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense. So that means for Aes Sedai, it's not uncommon for somebody to live to probably be 250 years old or so. I would say. So I mean, if the Oath Rod cuts lifespans in half, that would mean that without the Oath Rod, the average Aes Sedai lifespan would be about 500 years, roughly.
Yep.
You know, give or take
Or
different,
whatever.
you know,
Yeah,
factors.
exactly.
right.
So, which for the Ken already seems to be on track to be a standard lifespan.
Pretty much.
So, I mean, it's
don't know.
hard for me to think. I can't see any truly justifiable ruler who is out for the good of their people trying to enforce something that that literally cuts your life in half. That'd be like right now, like let's say the average lifespan in the U.S. is like what, like in its 70s. Let's just say 70 years old.
Depends on whether you're male or female, but yes.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll just
It's 78 for men and 83 for women.
all right. So let's just round it down to 80 for females because we're talking
Sure.
about the Aes Sedai.
Sounds great.
That would be like them saying, like, look, you can live to be 80 years, but you can join our exclusive club. Well, everybody will trust, but also never trust anything you say because you're in our club,
Mhm.
and you only live to be 40 years old. It's like, now there's a drastic difference between only having 40 years of influence versus
Okay,
having
no.
250. But
I like this. So either you can live to be 80 or you can be a Kardashian. Cool. I got you.
I mean, the Kardashians may not live forever, but like 80% of their bodies will survive like many years.
Hey.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
I mean, I don't see as gruff and as harsh as Cat Swain can be. I feel that a lot of what her decisions are driven by the necessity of the times and the foreseeable times.
Yes.
And given the fact that while the Oath Rod was still a thing, and they just blanket believed that if you were Aes Sedai, you could not be evil. But there were still a ton of evil Aes Sedai because they never noticed or found out that
Exactly.
anybody broken from the oaths. Then I feel like that information would get out, and I feel like there's no longer the political there's no longer the political advantage to having sisters bound to the Oath Rod.
Yeah, I would actually say that probably in the Fourth Age, the Oath Rod is a tool, not any kind of requirement. Because, of course, in the Third Age, the Sitters actually use it very effectively to root out Saladar sisters and the Black Aja.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would
That was my
probably
other
say
question.
that they use it as a tool rather than a standard.
That was my other question. The reconfirmed sisters under the
Right.
Oath Rod, not including the ones that were Black Aja, because the remnant of their lifespan is irrelevant because they were dealt with and discarded.
Basically.
Does reaffirming on the Oath Rod cause the status effects, the effects of the Oath Rod to play again? So if your life was already cut from a potential 500 on average to 250 on average, and you
Yeah.
reaffirmed through weaving again on the Oath Rod, does that bring you down to 125 average?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to ask Robert Jordan when we meet him.
Or maybe someone at a theory panel at Jordan Con.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Indeed.
So
We'll see. So
We'll see.
as
all right.
Anyway,
as all of you are listening to this at the tail end of this episode, we are, from the time of publication of this publicly, we are only a week away from Jordan Con.
indeed.
Exactly a week.
So excited.
This episode should be out publicly for you on the 9th of July, and Jordan Con starts on the 16th. For those of you that hear this before then, if you are in the area of Atlanta, Georgia, make sure you pay attention because Josh and myself will be in the area of Atlanta on the 15th, which is my birthday. And we will be inviting anybody that wants to. We'll put it out on Twitter. We'll put it out on the Discord. Wherever we are. Josh is going to be choosing. I have no idea yet. Josh probably doesn't either because it's hard to look up things when you don't live there. But we'll be hanging out at some bar or something, having a couple. Yeah, we'll having a couple drinks. I will be doing my best to keep it in moderation because I need to be able to wake up at the early-ish times for Jordan Con. But we'll be doing a little kind of mini my birthday celebration the night or evening of the 15th of July. And then, as we mentioned before, we will be posting out things of, hey, come and find Daniel to get the sword coin on the 16th. Come and find, whatever it is. So there'll be a total of 4 of the coins that we give out. If you have forgotten
6.
what they look like, this
6.
is the back.
6.
Are they
2
doing
on
Friday, Saturday, and
2
Sunday,
on
or just Friday
Saturday,
and
2 on
Saturday?
Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hold on, because they released a schedule, and I thought I only saw Friday and Saturday. Is there a
I think
Sunday
it's
as
just
well?
Friday and Saturday.
You
I think it's
might
just
be
Friday
right.
and Saturday.
Well, in that case, maybe Josh and Andrew should go ahead and assign coins on Thursday night if people come and hang out with them, and then you'll
can
just
get
get
'em
them on
on
Friday
Friday.
when I get there.
We can do that.
Whatever, it's okay.
Either way, we'll be giving away a total of 3 sword coins, which is this one. This is what the back looks like, and this is what the front looks like.
Yep.
A sword. And if you want to know what the other one looks like, we're gonna pause here, and I can go and grab it.
Oh, I have
already
one
has it.
right here. Give me a second.
Okay,
Literally.
this works out very well. Be my pawn, Daniel.
The
Show me your
dragon.
coins.
Also, still very much similar on the back, if you will. It is white enameled around, which is a little bit different than the other one. But then on the front, you have the dragon, which is also from our logo. Very, very well done. Super fun. And also white enameled to give you that nice smooth finish that you can know that nothing's going to happen to your coin.
Yeah, I mean these are pretty hefty coins. They're all
They are.
coated in enamel for protection.
Correct.
So I've been carrying the dragon coin in my wallet basically to work and home and a couple other places for
A few months now.
since whenever we first got them out, and
Yeah.
I think at
The
least
beginning
since
of this
May.
year.
I think. Or do we have them before?
Oh,
then?
I had yours out in like March.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
because I had it before I left where I used to live. So I've had it
Yeah.
in my wallet since March. It still looks as good as the day I got it. So if you're wanting one of the coins, but you don't necessarily have the ability or desire, whichever, which is completely fine, to do the whole Patreon thing to guarantee you get it. The weekends of JordanCon, you have to be physically at JordanCon to do it. So
Correct.
it does limit the potential people down to like 500 or so. It's only allowing 500 people at JordanCon, but we'll be giving away a total of 3 of each coins starting on the 15th of July, going through the 17th of July.
Excellent.
And what we'll do is if they don't get claimed on a day, they'll just roll over to the next day. And I'm not saying we are going to do this, but what we may do is if we have any left over by the end of JordanCon, we may open it up online. And there may be a couple lucky people that get them that we'll send them to as kind of just paying attention to that kind of stuff. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's hard to choose because we don't want to cheapen the benefit of being a
absolutely.
patron and getting it. We don't want to cheapen it being an in-person thing. So,
But they're also
we'll
so
see.
cool, and so we want people to experience them.
Yeah, they're
so
super cool.
It's that
We wanna give 'em
different.
out.
We're good. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But
Anyway.
so keep your eyes on
So-
Twitter, on our Discord if you're not already a part of that. If you're not a part of our Discord, as we mentioned earlier, head to our website. But
Get your ass in here.
once you're done confirming that you're a part of our Discord and that you know where our website is, you definitely need to go over and check out thegreatblight.com. It is a fantastic website built by Nablus and a fantastic team that he has.
De Blight Grande.
All right, guys. Well, as we all know here at the Black Tower podcast, not everything that is touched by the shadow is lost. And that is totally true for thegreatblight.com. Now, Nablus and his team have done an amazing job of going ahead and putting this together, and it is possibly the greatest resource for those of us here in the Wheel of Time community. First off, you have this awesome homepage with posts from a bunch of your favorites. You can go and check out new things that you've never seen before, keep up to date on content creators that you already follow, and just go ahead and dip as many of your toes or your entire foot as you want into all of the different things that are going on. Now, also here, there is probably the best list of content creators. There's YouTubers, podcasters, artists, musicians, just about everything you could want. And if you don't see your favorite content creator there, that's fine. There is an application included in the site to go ahead and make sure that your favorite content creator is part of it. Just encourage them to fill out the application, and Nablus will be in touch. Now, after you've gone ahead and checked that out, you're going to want to pop over to the ever-expanding library here at the Great Blight, because it is something particularly special. Now, I don't know how many times I've gone ahead and joined a fandom only to find out halfway through my first read, looking up a character, that they die in the second to last book, which sucks. It always is very disappointing when you can't look up anything interesting about what you've read for fear of things that you haven't read yet. But they've fixed the problem over at thegreatblight.com. It is a spoiler-free wiki. That's right. That means that if you've only read up to Path of Daggers and you really want to find out what in the world you missed about Egwene because there's something you just don't understand, or if you want to get more information about Rand because you think he's super cool, you don't need to read past Path of Daggers, and it's not going to ruin you on a Memory of Light before you've gotten there. You'll know exactly where to stop. You'll know exactly where you are. And once you're done with that, make sure that you go ahead and help the site out, the content creators out, everything like that, with the beta nature of it. Up here at the top, you're going to see a problem, have a suggestion button. That is specifically for if you have any issues with the site or if you have any feedback. It's only something that we can make better with feedback and with help from the community. So come on down, check it out. Grab a couple of our videos or grab a couple of our podcasts, and we'd love to see you there.
Once you're caught up there, you've got all of your wiki needs and your content creator fixes satisfied there. You've, obviously already binged all of the Black Tower podcast episodes by then.
Obviously.
There's another place that you need to check out.
Obviously.
There's another place you need to check out of another fantastic partner of ours and a partner of ours. And who is that, Josh?
That's the Crystal Barista. You know who it is.
Nope.
We've already shouted out the Crystal Barista. She is still a fantastic partner.
It's
Hold on.
Creations by Gen Nuevo.
New creations by jeez.
Remember whenever I mentioned earlier, we might get a little sloppy by the end. Everybody loves merchandise, and one of the best possible places to go and get yourself some really dope Wheel of Time inspired and themed merchandise is, of course, newcreationsbygen.com. So whenever you go to newcreationsbygen.com, whether you're looking for just Wheel of Time inspired stuff or not, you can find all kinds of really cool merchandise and goodie opportunities, all the way from gifts for your family, friends, significant others, whoever have you, newborns, children, toddlers, women, men, adults, anybody that wants anything, you can find something for them for sure on New Creations by Jen. Now, most of you listening are going to be looking for Wheel of Time stuff. And the easiest way to find it is to go to the catalog section on New Creations by Jen. where you can see the groups of stuff for us at Black Tower Podcast, Malkir Talks, Talking Around Riyadh, Will Reads, The Will Weaves, and Weekly Will News. So you can find all of this stuff, and you can browse and look at all the different kinds of things that each content creator that is a part of New Creations by Jen has taken and asked Jen and Rob to put up on the site. Obviously, we're going to use ours as an example so that you can go in and look at Black Tower Podcast stuff, because we are the Black Tower Podcast. So if you go on, you can get our Two Rivers Sniper shot glass as well as Two Rivers Sniper shirt. It's available on a red shirt. So you can go on and you can get our Frosty mug, which is one of the Frosty mug collectibles. Each Wheel of Time content creator that is on New Creations by Jen has a Frosty mug that you can go in and get for yourself. So after you get ours, make sure you get the others and get the entire set and join the Frosty Mug Society. Of course, there's more than just Frosty mugs and little shot glasses, and there's plenty of different kinds of shirts with different designs on them from all of the different content creators. Of course, you can find ours where you can get our logo in black and white on a shirt. I have one myself. It's fantastic and I love it. Jen and Rob do an amazing job of working with not only their customers but the content creators that they help support with this amazing and very good quality merchandise. So if you have not headed over to New Creations by Jen and gotten yourself something dope, make sure you go and do that. Again, it's newcreationsbyjen.com. As well as the only true legitimate heirs to the Frosty mug name.
Indeed.
With possibly the exception of the Dusty Wheels.
Yeah,
That might be the one exception. I don't know. But with New Creations and the Great Blight shouted out, the amazing people that those individuals and owners are, Nameless, Jen, and Rob. Rob being the Rob from Weekly Will News. That is going to do it for this episode of the Black Tower Podcast. We thank you so much for tuning in, for listening, for however long it was. But we thank you so much.
Almost 2 hours.
We thank you so much for showing your support and for being here with us and listening to us and hopefully enjoying what you're hearing. But to tie things out and to say goodbye, from those of us here at the Black Tower Podcast, I have been your Bajan Mahale, Andrew.
I have been your Sorovan Mahale, Josh.
And I have been your Amin Khan Mahale, Daniel. And just a reminder, I know that you might not be listening to this on the day, but we recorded this on the day, so happy Independence Day to all of our American brethren. Happy American Independence to all of our non-American brethren. Have a hot dog for us. Have a hamburger for us. Go out and grill just for fun because it's enjoyable. I hope that you are getting everything that you want this morning and every morning. And in case we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, good night.
Running the show.